Ooh, maybe we'll put him outside.
Hey, so we are streaming on YouTube right now. Sorry about that. Telling you about the dog. I kept thinking that Jax was walking behind the podium back there, and I expected him to come out the other side because when he would go off there. So, anyways, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 10,000 Fledges. And today we have with us Meg, and Ryan will be here in a second. And hey Ryan.
Hi.
So today we're going to have about a 5-minute conversation about what we are calling the big experiment called 10,000 Fledges. And Meg and Ryan are going to ask us some questions and we're going to answer them and we're going to go from there. So, hey Meg, hey Ryan.
Hey,
Hi,
good morning.
Good morning.
So you might hear Jax in the background. He's got some questions too, but we'll get to him later. Okay. So we're talking about potentially having a pledge in Madison, and we have to be virtual right now because of the current context. And so we are so excited about talking about why have another virtual Fledge when the Fledge Lansing is providing so much community and so much amazing opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to add?
That's it.
So I think I want to start the answer to that with the fact that everything we're trying to approach now with the Fledge in general is a hypothesis and an experiment and a collection of data and basically a decision to be made, right? So we've got a theory on how things are going to work, and we believe at some point there will be a benefit to have another Fledge in, we'll say Madison, Wisconsin, but 10,000 cities or 10,000 places around the world. And what I think we're finding out right now is that with COVID happening and the virtualization that had to take place, that it's really easy for you to stay engaged with the Fledge and have the morning scrums and participate in 99 problems, but a pitch ain't one, or be on every damn day, or come to, coding club or whatever. I mean, I'm making that up right now. But so with that, the benefit isn't being realized. We're not seeing it. So in this part of the experiment, if we're, tallying, did we get huge benefit from Madison, Wisconsin today, and we're not putting ticks in that box right now, what the data is starting to tell us is that there might not be a benefit. So now we've got an opportunity to make some decisions with the data that we have. We could, completely say, well, we don't really believe this, we don't trust this, we don't have enough, and we could keep on with the experiment. I don't want to do that in a conservative Republican Trump type of way where we don't believe data, so we manipulate it. But what I do mean is that we say that we don't have enough data. There's too much COVID going on. There's too much, you're just newly in Madison, relatively speaking. So we might want to just carry on and keep collecting data. We might want to say there is no benefit right now and come to that conclusion. And then we might create another hypothesis that, well, we could go dormant. I mean, if you took seeds with you from Lansing and it was too cold outside to plant those seeds, you would wait until the spring or the next year or whatever. Maybe you don't have the appropriate spot. You've got to take care of other things. So, you guys you're getting settled in Madison. You're getting used to new jobs. Both of you have gotten new jobs in one respect or another. And you're learning about where the grocery store is, what your favorite restaurant is, where the best coffee shop is. Well, you're not doing that under quarantine, but you're learning the streets and that.
Yes.
So,
and I love that if it's in the frame of an experiment, we're now collecting data within this really odd environmental context. And so that won't always be the case. So I picture maybe, I mean, this is totally spitballing, but like in a year or 2 years, potentially, if we're still here, the environments can be very different. And maybe there will be a huge benefit from a Fledge in Madison in terms of having in-person events, having community gardens, like things that we can really like be there together to do.
Right. So you know, we love biomimicry. We love watching what nature has done and try to find those models. And we were kind of talking about a spider plant model before, where the spider plant will kind of create a baby that goes out and tries to build a world on its own, but it stays connected to that main plant all the time. And it doesn't always, you know, land on dirt and just take root. Sometimes it hangs there for a while and, you know, gets everything, not everything, but participates in the bigger structure because it brings sunlight and nutrition and all of that back. So maybe where we're at right now is we don't need to cut that tie, and we would never cut the tie, but we don't need to have that plant take soil yet. And we need to figure that out more. And I kind of feel like we're gonna stumble upon it sometimes. Again, go into the chaos theory, go into fractals, and knowing that we can't really predict the future anyways. We thought we could, but if 2020's taught us anything, it's that we don't know anything and that things are going to come at us pretty quick and pretty hard, and we need to just be agile and keep doing our experiment and let our experiment lead us to where we should go. And I don't know, you know, does that feel like it's answering the question? Because I guess the answer is we're in this big experiment. We don't need to do this quick. We go back to the project management. We got scope, quality, cost, and time. We don't have to do this now. We can wait. We can wait till it's safe. We can wait till it's more well thought out. We can wait till there's models back at this Fledge that have been developed to help make some things easier. And we can wait till your community needs you, because if your community doesn't need you, then what are we really trying to do?
I was just thinking very similarly to that, of like maybe there'll be a moment where we're like, oh shoot, we need this resource sharing model, or we need a space to have this certain thing happen, and then it'll become clear what the function of the Fledge Madison is.
I hold on one second. Yeah, I on the live version, I was trying to see how long we've been going, and I can't quite see that anywhere. But anyways, that emergent order, I think we really have to trust in that, because that has been probably our number one success, is something happens that we didn't plan was going to happen. And I know, you know, there's process control people and scientists and people that have been in manufacturing for 50 years and, you know, small business owners all rolling or pulling their hair out. How can they say that? But man, most companies are a series of getting super lucky at something and pouncing on that and taking advantage of it. Very few companies look like they started out to look. And for us to hold on to that just causes so much stress and unhealthy activity. I forgot what you said earlier, but I didn't sound like the capitalist approach to it. What were we talking about there?
I expected to bring this question to you and maybe like feel like we were disappointing you, or like that it would be like maybe you'd be sad, you know, something like, or maybe angry, you know, because of this like rigid plan of like it has to happen. And I'm not saying that's your style, but that's like what I've internalized people to how they'd respond.
And that like
I think
environment is a bad thing, or like not having it as a top priority is a bad thing because of the like grind culture and always doing more.
10% growth year over year, every year.
And I don't think nature behaves that way. It will let seeds lay there for 6 years before they have the right environment to grow. And I don't think we should do unnatural things. I love being in this big lab and being able to do these experiments and see what works and what doesn't work. And man, can you imagine me yelling at you and saying, you better get a coding club started today or else we're not going to do the Madison Fledge. I bet you we wouldn't do the Madison Fledge.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and to me, I mean, so lucky to have two smart people, two science-based people wanting to participate in this experiment with me. You're out there, you know what's going on, you know what order is going to emerge, and you'll harvest it if it needs to be harvested. And if not, you'll keep engaging with us up here until it feels right.
Mhm.
And I don't see anything wrong with that.
Mhm.
So I think that's a good breaking point. Maybe I think we've been doing this for about 8 minutes probably,
Okay.
but I think it was a good start. So we'll see everybody next week.
Okay.
Send us some questions and comments. We'll answer your questions too.